Hello? Am I streaming? Yeah, wait. Let's get this going. Hey guys, it's Turok, and the new One Piece chapter apparently came out earlier than I thought, so I'm gonna review it now. Boy, it's a good one and a tense one, and some of it pisses me off a little bit. Ugh, I had hopes for one character in this, and that character severely disappointed me. But maybe he will have a little hope for him at the end. Um, First of all, I'm the last chapter. Wait, why come the other chapters aren't here? Then I have, let's see. So the last chapter was where the Straw Hats, there it is. I do have it here. Okay. In the last chapter, we we got to first of all see what happened at with the rest of the world reacting to the events of the Lucia, the side effects I should say, because the people had quakes and tsunamis and the water level apparently went higher. And but then we switched to the main part, the build up here of Egghead, the this sort of like the climax where right where a siege has begun now in Egghead. The you might hear some thunder. I got a bad storm passing over. Uh, Hopefully my power won't go out, but I wanted to get this done tonight because tomorrow's my chore day. So yeah, siege has started. We got not Sen Goku. Sentomaru has got the lower island of Egghead flanked with all those uh Mark III pacifistas, which are still the more advanced versions of the original ones we saw 2 years ago, starting where they look like Kuma, and then we got the Straw Hats are and the um, Satellite and Vegapunk are all at the top, locked in. And outside there is Kizaru leading a battalion of, I don't know if that's the right group name, of, I think it's like 100 ships, and it's like 30,000 Marines. And St. Saturn is even there, and as far as the Marines are concerned, only Kizaru and Vice Admiral Doberman are aware of his position, him being there. Obviously, there's also it looks like he's got a couple of his Pangea Castle guards with him, and the chapter ended off where York sent a call out that to the uh, Gorosei. Is that working right? Yeah, the Gorosei and you know what? Am I in there right? Yeah, hold on a sec. We go like that. The Gorosei and Kizaru listening on this call where York was talking about her terms, and they want to still keep her alive as because they need her. They need one of the Vegapunks to power that machine they use to destroy Lucia, and they're going to try and keep most of the lab intact, as we'll see here. And then we find out that she's been captured already by the Straw Hats. There was like this is the next day from the last time we saw them, so somehow they caught her overnight and this caught her and disabled, or we'll see now eventually, like more than that with the Seraphim. We're able to take them down, stop them, not take them down like destroy them or kill them, but stop them, just disable them, sort of. Um, so yeah, that's that. And so we start off here where we finish with Luffy and the others talking this direct line that York had to uh, the Gorosei. Actually, this brings up an interesting question. How do you create how does the do they use a telephone like system with the Denden Mushi to contact people? I'm trying to remember when I seen the Denden Mushi if they have some kind of telephone number system thing. Because I just wondering what the how you because York obviously has a direct line to the Gorosei, and I doubt with the Denden Mushis you can, unless you got like some super one that can bypass all this whatever system is installed. You can't just tell Denden and Bushy, hey, I want to talk to the girls today. So say you're like the one of say you're like Usopp's friends, the little kids in his village, and they're saying, "Hey, well, you know what's be cool? Let's make a prank call to the girl thing." And they just say that then we find them, and it can't do that, I'm sure. So York has a direct line here, and so Luffy takes over the line. Usopp was like holding it up to York at the last chapter because um, they had her chained up on the ground. And Zoro's standing guard over her to make sure she don't try anything funny. And Usopp was holding the like a little walkie-talkie type thing toward her. The little what do they call those? I don't know my lingo anymore with that. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. How come I can't? Why is this so big? Hold on a second. Because then I can't see my hand. I was messing around with this because after I'm done doing this review, I'm gonna stream here the new episode should be out soon. Why can't I get this just to go like this? Uh-oh. No, did I freeze? Oh, I thought I froze. What? Come on. How come this won't fit within this window? Oh, that's weird. Fine. Frig it. That's weird. I thought I could make that fit. Is that not in a widescreen? Anyways, so Luffy takes the mic thing and he talks to the he starts a conversation here pretty good. He does his basic thing. He tells her I'll be coming the pirates, like he always does. But then he makes a bold statement. He pointed out we're aligned with Vegapunk. Now make back off your fleet right now if you care about York's safety. And then this is where we first get a little conversation. We have this one saint. What's his name? I'm not gonna get the names anymore. He's the tall guy with the beard. He wait, I guess I could pull up their names quickly. Gorosei. I should have this pulled up quicker, but it's the one with the tall guy with the beard. What's his name? Saint Marcus. Yeah, Marcus says that you're Straw Hat Luffy, and he I think they must know how Luffy thinks because they he tries to trick Luffy into saying, how many people are still alive? And Luffy begins to answer that. And one of those, someone, Nami or Robin, stop him and have them hang up there. Yeah, it's not Robin. Robin's there because we didn't see Robin at the end of the last chapter, but she's there now, and yeah, and Luffy doesn't understand strategy clearly because he says Robin informs her like we can't tell them information. They'll easily learn about us and use that to their advantage. But Luffy thinks, oh, won't that make them withdraw their fleet if we did that? But like Usopp screams at him like, no, that won't happen. And you got Nami there like, oh god, Luffy, you're so stupid when it comes to stuff. Well, clearly he's never been in these situations. He doesn't have the experience, and he's never talked to him to teach him this, I guess. Also, I forgot when this is happening. It sounds like looks like Morgan's is somehow listening into this call. We see a shot with him and Vivi and oh, what's his name again? Oh shit, I can't think of his name. I'm blanking on that twit from Drum Island. And so, anyways, then we switch over to Saint Garcia, who's there on the scene, and uh also, I felt too when York was when Luffy's making those demands. York's freaking out again because she thinks they're gonna kill her. Um, oh, and this brings up something I was talking about months ago. So Saint Garcia, I think he's talking to Doberman here. But yeah, Vice Admiral Doberman's still present with him, and he talks about what their priorities are going to be in this mission, this siege here, to protect safety, New York, protect the brain that is the disconnected brain of Vegapunk and the power plant or whatever and other resources they need for the Mother Flame and everything else can go. Uh, and then Doberman tries to ask him, well, what about Lucci and the other Cypherpol agents? And Saturn's like, well, I would want to say them, but it's more important to worry about these other things than these other three things I laid out. So and then we just then I wonder if Doberman is regretting working for the world government here because Saturn says humans are like insects. As long as we just even if we reduce their numbers, they can multiply again. So it doesn't matter. So we're getting a sign of how they view their power. Real fucked up. These guys, I can't wait for these guys to go down. Their idea of controlling the world is fucked up. They're clearly, it's funny too, because I don't know if there's just them enjoying their power, which I assume a little bit, but or if they're maybe just basically subservient to Eames' desires and stuff. Like, oh, we can rule the world. It's funny how these kind of villains work, where they think, oh, I can rule over the people, and it doesn't matter what I do to them. It's similar to that. I was rewatching the movie Robin Hood, the one that was made about 13 years ago with Ridley Scott and uh, Russell Crowe. And that movie was about the idea of how um, the difference whether it matters more that the king matters more or the people, and that's clearly what these girls say are clearly in the same mindset that King John is in there, where no, I matter more, you guys need me, and it's more like no, it's a two-way relationship. We need a strong leader, but the people matter, and you need to respect the people and treat them right. Otherwise, you're gonna have uprisings and stuff, which is what's happening here. We got the Revolutionary Army, who is standing up against the world government because of these what do you call it? Let me just check my stream thing a second. Because of these uh fallacies and un what's the word I'm looking for? How unfair it is that they just treat people like this, like oh, you need us, we're in charge and you're not, and stuff like that. um so we switch back to York, who's pointing out to the I don't think York's definitely a friggin' how do I put this? You can tell why she's the one who would have done this because she is worried they're gonna kill her still, and she's trying to uh puff up her importance here to keep herself alive. And she says like I made a deal with them. You better not hurt me. Uh, and then if you do, they'll destroy you guys like they did O'Hara. So you need me alive, which I don't think they were planning on killing her. So, but she's clearly, that's how she is. Um, can I put this down? Let's see. I should have put this over here. How are we on time for that thing? Okay. Anyways, so when she does it, starts screaming like that, she starts pissing Nami off, and Nami's trying to Nami just tries to gives her a whack with her staff thing to shut her up, and Nigo has to keep her under control. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Let's not do that now because we have to keep her alive. She's like essentially saying that York's kind of right. You can't just act like that. Oh wait, 1 second. Let me just get this other screen ready. Forgot to do that. Um, we're back in this main shot in this room. Uh, we're back in this room now. Nami is in this picture now. We see some of the other people there. We see some of the other Seraphim here. We got Atlas, Lilith, uh, Vegapunk's there. We see Kaku too. He's in the back. He's all beat up there and he's sitting next to Lucy, probably bandaged up. It looks like from by Chopper. And see, then we got Luffy and Bonnie at the bottom eating more. Usopp's working on the radio stuff. Uh, uh, let's see. Wait, who's saying that? So Kaku's like beat up, and he's talking about how uh feels a little ashamed of himself that he got beat up so badly, even though he was facing off against two Seraphim. And Lucci just tells him, "Oh, it's okay. Just rest for now." Um, and then we got so Atlas is in the corner working on something, and Lilith is there holding the body of who is that? Which one? Edison. Uh, and she's crying because of the so some of the satellites did die here. We found out two of them actually did, and she's crying over their dead. So Shaka's definitely dead. Pythagoras, and she thinks Edison is dead, but someone corrects like, no, Edison's okay. Just he's all bandaged up. Uh, and so they're all still working together here to recover. So who else we got? Yeah, Jinbei, Zoro, Broke. They're all in the background. Frankie's there. He's okay. Here's where I get mad. I'm real mad here. Friggin' Lucci, we see him talking to himself. At first, I thought that was like someone else, but he's relaying information. I thought for sure he was gonna like help them get out of here, but no, his alliance with them is clearly over, and he's giving information. We'll see shortly who. He's he's pointing out that the Vegapunks, he like four of them are injured, two are dead, and then he starts talking about the Straw Hat Crew condition, and we see Kaku. Kaku's not in on this yet. He's like, Lucci, are you whispering to yourself? Oh no, what are you whispering? And then Lucci's like, now I'm just talking to myself. Great. Really fucking great, Lucci. Great job. Don't you realize they'll just dispose of you if they can? Don't you get it? He still doesn't get it. He thinks that he's still doing his duty to the very friggin' end. But we get to a more positive part of this. So apparently the Straw Hats helped out the other Cypher Pole agents that York kept prisoner down there and starved to death, or close to. Newsom checks in on them. Um, uh, he's asked if he's checking in on them, and what they've done is they got one of those machines that make a bunch of food, the special vending machines, and they're feeding them. And a bunch of them are eating and drinking and celebrating here, and a lot of them are starting to thank the Straw Hats for helping them. And then there's something like, no, don't thank them; they're still enemies. And someone like, can you get us out of here now? And Usopp's like, no, I don't think we can now. Or maybe he just means we're not going to let you out just because we can't trust you. I thought maybe he meant we can't. But and then some of them are afraid of being still trapped down there because we find out that the four Seraphim that they captured them all in those sea bubbles and they locked them up in the down there in that basement level next to the other Cypher Pole agents. Um, uh, And some of them are asking some of the Cypher Pole agents ask Vegapunk, like, aren't these things your allies? Why do you got them all locked up? And Vegapunk points out, well, what if they got out of control and kill us all? And then another one asks, well, what are we safe down here? And Vegapunk's like, well, yeah, they're okay. Yeah, and he's like, yeah, they're okay. They're using those bubble shields like you saw that Mark III's can use. So they got them in they got them trapped each in a bubble here. And you know what I noticed too with I was gonna bring this up a while back and I forgot. With the one that looks like Kuma, he never shows any emotion except for right now. He looks kind of like upset that he's trapped. But I noticed like the other three, Jinbei's really doesn't either. Now that I think about it, but um, um, only looks like Aboa and Mihawk really try to usually show emotion, and they look quite upset to be in here. Actually, yeah, Mihawk's is like, how dare you lock us in here? And um, so wait, how come I can't? I gotta look screen this. So yeah, Vegapunk's going on a little bit about uh he goes on a little bit more about these bubbles, how useful they are, and that they're even bomb blast resistant. I wonder if that will come up later. Maybe they can use those as a way to help find it, protect them from protect the place from damage when those if they start getting bombarded. Um, and then we get something interesting here about the how the pacifistas are with you don't need So we find something interesting about Boa, how because remember Frankie was turned into a what is it? Oh, that's just my bro. Frankie was turned into a petrified parsley, and then so Frankie didn't even think we're grateful, even though we have to lock you up. I'm grateful that you helped us out to us snakes. He says, "I'm grateful." He says, "I'm grateful you undoing the petrification." So I know Frankie was partially petrified. He unpetrified Lilith. Uh, well, oh yeah, did he get Usopp too? Yeah, and Usopp, right? So so we find out here, and like uh Vegapunk, like Lilith said earlier when they had those sea beasts, like how I didn't remember programming her. She so Luffy went up to Boa or the Boa S Snake and said, "Hey, you have to." Could he? I don't think he realizes this is not really Boa. Could he just calls her Hancock here and orders the elves are like, "You have to undo that petrification." Maybe by the time Frankie became fully petrified, like you have to help them. You're the only one, please. And we find out that Boa. So this you know what this she must have been cloned sometime after Boa met her, because she has feelings. This S Snake has feelings for Luffy the same way a actual Hancock does. And she breaks down and says, "Yeah, I'll do it. Please stop staring at me directly in my eyes." And so we that was a little flashback, I should say, that they show here. And we switch back to the present, and we see Jinbei laughing how much it's funny how much Hancock is a perfect replica of her, and because she looks down on everyone except Luffy. And this thing he comments like it's funny how the Seraphim have the same emotions that their originals do. And then we see Vegapunk making notes of this, like how this still happens when you make a clone. And we see Luffy because they're still like communicating to the downstairs. Luffy goes up to the Denden Mushi and thanks the S Snake again, and she gets all flustered and does the thing like Boa does. I like saying Boa because I know it's her last name. And he's like, "Oh, Did that mean? Did he just say he loves me?" So now we switch over to Atlas giving a status report to Vegapunk about what's going on. That she's got all the comms working, but the Frontier Dome um, is still locked, which means they're still trapped inside. Actually, that's interesting. If they're trapped inside, I wonder how Kizaru was planning on trying to get into there. Was he hoping? I wonder if he's hoping that they can force their way in to that they have some kind of weapons to actually do that. Uh, and now we get fucking what's her name? York gloating. So she's like, "Huh, you can't get that dome open. I used the password to lock everything up." And the bad news is I hid the information from you guys. From the from cause, so it sounds like she's able to. So when they usually are doing all their daily activities and the research, everything gets automatically uploaded to the brain. But she's found a way to hide that password so that they can't get the information. And she starts gloating further, like, "God, now that I got with that password and the world government on my side, I'm protected." Again, I don't. They don't want to kill you, York. They just want to get the frig out of there, you dumbass. You I kind of hope I kind of wish Vegapunk would just destroy that power plant. Now that he knows, now that they know what they want, he should probably just destroy that thing on their way out if they can. And Lilith is screaming at her like, you stupid son of a, you're getting on my nerves." So now Dusty's talking to Vegapunk about, okay, we got a problem here. We're surrounded and we can't get out. But it seems I forgot. I think this chapter is called Escape Plan or something like that. Because then we get to Vegapunk starts coming up with something here. The satellite, I mean, the Stella. Uh, and he starts asking, okay, if we, he first asks, okay, where's your road poneglyph? Not road poneglyph. Where's your thing pointing to? He asks now, yeah, where's your what do you call that thing? The log post pointing to? And she's like, okay, it's she said it was not pointing anything now, but I know there's another. We can follow directions that we got from Wano, and she says one of them points. Wait, so it is kind of pointing toward a direction, and then Vegapunk informs her that well, that's where. Oh yeah, that's where Elbath is. Um, this shocks the pants off. Well, not literally, of Luffy and Usopp. And they're like, "Oh, we're finally gonna go there. We've been waiting since we met Dorian Bragi." And they start celebrating in the background. Oh, look at that, right? And we got Sanji here. He gives Stussy a cup of coffee while this is happening too. Um, so now, also we get a little scene here where freaking Lucci's just giving Stussy the death stare. Like, how could you still betray us? How could you still do this in front of me? And she just, will you quit staring at me? So now, this is good and bad. So this plan sounds great, but he's talking about this in front of Lucci. But Vegapunk starts bringing up a plan here, and the first thing he's talking about is that luckily your ship's up here with us because they brought it up. Lilith brought it up there. So, but because we're surrounded, we can't just go back down and escape on the coast from like this. Just disembark, not disembark, embark out. What's the right word? I don't know. From right there. Uh, so then he's talked about okay. First thing we should do is go to the back of the island. It looks like the back of where the lava is, which faces toward where Elbath is, and we'll use the Vegapunk to fly away and carry your ship with us too. Then he points out, but we can't go far because it will lose power once it's out of that range of the island. But then Frankie points out that because they can just kind of fly a bit short range with the Sunny, that we could just use that to carry us the rest of the way. And Vegapunk is fascinated with that, especially when Frankie tells him it's powered by cola. So then Atlas says, "Okay, that's great, but now we still got to disable this the thing first. The shield that is powered up, and York is password protected." And York gloats again. Oh, you're not gonna get the password from me, but then the other the Vegapunk and Edison and Atlas are like, don't. In that case, we're gonna just have to hack it. Don't you underestimate us, the rest of us. So then Vegapunk tells Lilith, "You take charge of the Vega Force, the robot," and this plan starts unfolding here. So they start going out there. Who is that? Some of the Straw Hats are going out there. They're hurrying out there because they don't know when the other three will get the shield down. So who is that? Oh, that's most of the story. We got, and Bonnie's going with them too, actually. Um, so so while they're doing this, some of the priorities here, the other characters is funny. Lilith looks like she's having fun because this is kind of like an adventure, and she admits she'd never left the island before. And Luffy and Bonnie point out, "Oh, we're gonna miss. I'm gonna miss all this food. This food that's here. Let's bring a lot more pizzas." And Luffy's like, "Oh, it's okay. Sanji has the ingredients on the ship to make more of them." Um, and uh, and then Bonnie compliments Sanji here. It's kind of funny. I wonder if she's really getting a little interested in him because she says it's cool that he's skilled at cooking and a good fighter. And Bonnie talked about like, oh, now that I gave up, I'm feeling better now that I haven't. Now I'm not gonna give up. I gave up killing Vegapunk. Okay, so wait a minute, here's something interesting too. Sidebar we gotta do. She clearly found out something with with. I should have pointed this out earlier because she's been sitting in that room with them this whole time, that main area while this plan is being conducted, and they were talking to the elders, the five elders. She must have found out something with Kuma's memory that uh she realizes why her father did what he did. Just a second, I need water. Um, so she's going with them and helping getting away with them. So I don't know if she's got her crew waiting somewhere, but she's gonna go with them for now. Now we switch back to Kizaru and the others, and this is where we see that the information he was relaying, somehow he was using some maybe a Den Mushi, and frig, this is where I'm at. That's like they probably know. Oh wait, what if they change up the plan? As they start, we see that all the battles, a lineup of some of the battleships, and someone reports like Rob Lucci sent us information. We know what they're doing. Relay this information to everyone. Yeah, I have a feeling they're gonna pull a fast one on these guys somehow. Maybe they just said that all out loud, except for the part of hacking the front. Wait a minute, who did they leave up there next to him? I hope some of the Straw Hats stay next to Lucci because he can still go taking them out right here. Um, Hold on. We only saw Frankie and Luffy with Bonnie and Lilith running out there. So hopefully someone's gonna guard the other three Vegapunks there. Um, Wait. So where is? We know Shaka unfortunately is gone. Wait, was the other one there? Wait, who was there besides York? What was the third one? Wait, I'm getting a little lost here. Wait, Lilith, Atlas, Edison. Yeah, just those three are the allies, right? That's right. Wait, no. Right, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and then Pythagoras and Shaka are dead. So I hope that Sanji and Zoro stay up there with the Vegapunks to keep an eye on Lucci here. Because now we switch back to Saturn and Kizaru. And so Saturn's I don't know if Dobrin's still in this shot. I don't think he is. He probably left because he's out right. And so I don't think I don't think Saturn would want to converse everything of their strategy with a vice admiral. Uh, so Saturn said first says like Kizaru, did you hear what that happened? And Saturn, Kizaru was like, yep, Straw Hat was arrogant, was being very arrogant, and he thinks he has control of the situation, but we got them cornered. So this is something interesting though. Kizaru kind of like resists something with Saturn. So Saturn asks him, well, since the frontier defense system uses lasers, can't you like reverse travel through those things and go back there inside, get inside? Um, and Kizaru's like, yeah, it might be possible, but I don't want to fight with I don't want to fight Sentomaru. And um, so Saturn's like, just ignore him. And I don't know what this means. I thought maybe no, maybe what he means is he wants to. I think maybe what Kizaru means is I'm just gonna. I want to take him out. I can't. He says I can't just ignore a man determined to fight for his duty that will go against my ideals. I'm a little confused by that statement out, but So and then Kiza reminds him, we got to be we understand him. We got to be shrewd about this because we don't want to. Because all those pacifistas and the mech beasts under Sentomaru's control, oh, that's what it is probably too, will cause a lot of havoc and may take out many of our marine ships here. And Saturn's like, okay, this is. He gets a little frustrated here, but he's like, okay, I get that, but do we know where the power plant is at least? And it looks like Lucci may have relayed that information because Kizaru says, because of Lucci, we have everything we need here. And so he starts ordering the battle stations of all the ships. So what I think he might mean actually, I was thinking about this earlier. I almost forgot. I think Kizaru wants to go after Sentomaru because if he can take him out, they can make the other pacifistas stand down. Because it's the same thing that happened earlier where Lucci tried to take out Sentomaru, and it did work temporarily. Where Lesson Tomorrow got passed out, I think, right? And so, what did you call it? Wait a second. Did that episode release yet? Let's see if I can start finding that. Just a second. Hold on.